Reverend Mark Morrison Reed, and come from our gray hymnal, Singing the Living Tradition. As we are looking at why we do or don't go to church today, these words seemed apt. The central task of the religious community is to unveil the bonds that bind each to all. There is a connectedness, a relationship discovered among the particulars of our own lives and the lives of others. Once felt, it inspires us to act for justice. It is a church that assures us that we are not struggling for justice on our own, but as members of a larger community. The religious community is essential, for alone our vision is too narrow to see all that must be seen, and our strength too limited to do all that must be done. Together, our vision widens and our strength is renewed.
It's time for our opening hymn. Hi, I'm Christian, and I'm the song leader for today and the choir conductor. And so I'd invite you to rise in body or spirit, including the choir here. And we're going to sing a round together. Go ahead, choir. And so the people who will start off our round are on the left side. Group ones, wave at them. Group ones, yeah, right here. Okay, yes. So we're going to sing through Come, Come, whoever you are, all together. And then our group ones here are going to start off. And then group twos, can you wave at them? They're going to go next. Group threes over here. Yes, so you can sing with the choir group that corresponds to you. And then group four is right at the end. And I'm going to sing with group four too. Yeah, we're outnumbered over there. So here we go. Come, come, whoever you are. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Group one. Group two. Group three.
Now it's my turn to do the hokey pokey with the microphone. Here we go. Turn it all around. All right. We got it. So, good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm Sheila McMaster, Director of Religious Education here at the Calgary Unitarians, and my pronouns are she and her, and I'm so happy to be here this morning on this wonderful Sunday. And today we're talking about why come to church? Why do we come to the Calgary Unitarians? And I can say that for me, it's about community and connection and an opportunity to share my light and be my best self. And I think perfectly imperfect, to be human. And the children and youth today are exploring what does it mean to be human? And they're going to be finding joy in friendships and connection as we start decorating our Halloween hallway downstairs and our hallway of curiosities for next Sunday's Halloween Carnival. Yes, it's going to be fun. And I expect everyone to be in costume. Yay, so start thinking now. And you don't have to have a good costume. it's not important. I have a draw category for each group of people. So adults, if you wear a costume, you're in the draw for the prize, and it's a good prize. And then we've got like the youth get a draw, and the medium kids get a draw, and the young kids get a draw. So everyone in costume has a chance to win my super cool prize, which you won't know what it is till Sunday. And you want to be here next week because we're going to have popcorn and games, and I'm going to be the ringmaster, and downstairs the youth are putting together the most spooky hallway of curiosities that you've ever seen. That's right, Jane, thank you. It's going to be good, so be there or be square next week. It's going to be good. And as we're talking about what it means to be human, I have a story this week called I Am Human by Susan Faraday. All right. I am human. I was born a miracle, one of billions, but unique. I am human. I am always learning. I'm finding my way and choosing my path on this incredible journey. I have big dreams and I see possibility. I have endless curiosity. I make discoveries. I have a feeling of wonder, and I am amazed by nature. But being human means I am not perfect. I make mistakes. I can hurt others with my words and my actions and even my silence. And I can be hurt too. I can be fearful of things I don't yet understand and timid to try something new. I have a heavy heart when I feel sadness. I am human. But then I remind myself that because I am human, I can make choices. I can move forward. A poor choice can become a better choice with thoughtfulness, and a bad day can become a great day with a little bit of kindness. I can act with compassion and lend a helping hand. I can treat others with equality and be fair. I choose not to fight, but instead to listen and find common ground. I can say, I'm sorry, and ask for forgiveness. I am human, one of billions but unique. I am not alone. I am connected to my friends and my family and to the world. We are all humans together. And I'll keep trying to be the best version of me. I am full of hope, and I am human. The end. And this week's challenge is to just think about how to forgive and accept yourself just as you are, today, just as you are in this moment, because we are perfectly imperfect, and choosing compassion and kindness for others, but also for yourselves. And the quote I've chosen this week to think about is, being human is a given, but keeping our humanity is a choice. And now please join me as we sing the flame of our light downstairs to the children and youth.
We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life, we hold you in our love as you go. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go.
That is such a beautiful song, and many of you may not know the origins of it. It comes from an Elliott Institute family camp, of which I attend quite regularly. And Kathleen Tracy, is that who it is, Jane? They were singing Go Now in Peace, and somebody said, we changed the word God. The author doesn't want us to do that. What are we going to do? And Kathleen Tracy thought about it and came up with that song at that camp. Isn't that just beautiful? It's important to know where these things come from. To be human, let me put my reading glasses on and then try again. To be a human being alive in this world is to experience both the joys and the sorrows of life. Each week, this community takes time to honor the events in our lives that shape who we are and how we respond to the world. And we do this because each one of you matters. It matters that you are here with us this morning. It matters that you join our activities because your presence is a gift to us. We each experience life. We each have our joys. We each have our sorrows. And we can hold both at the same time because two things can be true at once, can't they? And so now I light this candle to acknowledge all that brings us joy and delight. Oh, this has to come off. I'll light this one and get there. Thank you, Christian. We light this one to acknowledge all the joys and all the things that bring us delight in this world. And we light this candle to acknowledge that there are things that are happening in our world that are breaking our hearts. And speaking of breaking our hearts, we light this candle to acknowledge all of the people who are living around the world who are living in the middle of a war. It's hard to believe we have come to that place again in the history of humankind. And now, my dear ones, I invite each one of you, as you would like, to either come forward and light a candle either on the side to acknowledge your joy or sorrow that you have in your heart, or if you are so moved, to take a pebble and put it in our water communion water to be held in the love of this community. As you are willing and able, please come forward. This time of meditation and prayer is one of my favorite moments in our services. This rhythm and pattern of contemplative words sitting together in silence and then coming out of silence with a song centers our time together, brings us together as one community. Today, we'll come out of silence with the choir leading us in a song that many of you may not be familiar. It's 1013, Open My Heart. They've practiced it. They're good. The words will be projected. If you are so moved, please join them in singing the song. And if you are settling into that moment and just need that song, those words, the melody to wash over you, please do so. So now, let us enter our time of meditation. If you can, feel your feet on the ground. Go down and feel the earth beneath. Feel the earth support you. Feel the love of this community as it surrounds you and enfolds you. Feel your breath as it flows in and out of your body. Listen to your heartbeat. Listen to your heart. How is it with your heart? Does it feel whole? Shielded by intellect? Perhaps it feels cocooned by reason, closed off to feeling. For some, it might be fragile, broken, brimming with pain and loss. Or perhaps your heart has been broken and healed so many times that it now lies open to the world, knowing that true growth comes not without pain, that tears may wear down barriers, and that perhaps we might even carry the hearts of others, even when our own heart is too heavy to bear. None of us has an unblemished heart. Not one. For that perfection can only be found in death. And we who are alive have much to learn, much to grow, and much to heal. So in this time of silence, let us give thanks for the broken places in our hearts and our lives. Let us give thanks for this community. Let us enter the reverent space of silence.
I did not introduce myself earlier, so I will do so now for those who don't know me. My name is Lynn Nugent, and my pronouns are she and her. This morning's question posed by Reverend Samaya, why do you or don't you go to church? I attend and I am involved with Calgary Unitarians because I find it helps me to be in community as I explore the big questions about meaning and belief in life. Gathering here in community both supports and challenges me on my life journey. One of our well-known Unitarians from the 19th century, Transcendentalist Ralph Waldo Emerson, believed that the individual cannot be understood in isolation. He said, and I quote, "Every being in nature has its existence so connected with other beings that if set apart from them, it would instantly perish." To me, these words reflect an early Unitarian recognition of the interdependent web of life, our current seventh principle. For the Transcendentalists, this awareness came by way of their interest in Buddhism and Hinduism. We do not thrive in isolation. We need each other. Community holds us as we search for truth and meaning, our fourth principle. Community holds us when we take our second principle of justice, equity, and compassion in human relations out into the world and work towards our sixth principle, the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. Recently, we've begun the challenging work set out by our latest addition to the principles, our eighth principle, which focuses on action to accountably dismantle racism and systemic barriers to full inclusion. Our principles provide me with a vision of what our world could be. To me, they are ideals to work towards. Our community is a place where we can gently encourage each other in our endeavors to make a difference. It's where we can find a soft spot to land when the going gets tough. Do we always gently encourage and support each other? Well, we're human beings. So, when the going gets tough, our covenant of right relations provides a model for us for how we can compassionately relate and communicate with each other, both within and outside of our Calgary Unitarians' home. The practice of trying to be in right relationship with others is another reason why I participate in our community. Being in community reminds me, in the words of our 16th century Unitarian ancestor, Francis David, that we need not think alike to love alike. My own spiritual explorations have evolved through my lifetime based on my personal experience, on the wisdom that I've gathered in association with members of our congregation, and in engaging with the history and theology of Unitarian Universalism. We can learn from studying the triumphs and the struggles of our denomination. If this is something you might like to explore, here comes the ad. Reverend Samaya and I will be facilitating a program called What Moves Us. This is a program that's designed to look at our spiritual ancestors and some of our contemporary theologians and how they have shaped the Unitarian Universalism that we know today. There's more information in the e-news, or you can always talk to me or email me if you want some more information sent to you. Why do I go to church? I am here because I believe there is a powerful synergy created when we come together in community. and when we share according to our interests and our talents, and make connections as we work together with others for social and environmental justice. May it be so.
There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. Group 1. Group 2. Group 3. Group 4. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love.
I don't know if you caught the low basses there, but just saying. Can you believe it is almost like just over 2 months that I arrived here? And it's about 6 months into this new church year? And I thought it would be a really good idea right now to talk with you about what church is all about, so that you can get my understanding of it, and that maybe you can engage me in conversation about what your understanding about what church is all about. Why do we go here? Because you see, we, as in me, the minister, and you as the congregation, we're in a kind of trial dating period kind of thing. Aren't we? We're kind of figuring out whether or not we want to make this thing a long-term relationship. We're dating. And when you're dating, it's really good to get clear about what are some of the fundamental reasons about why we do certain things, so that we know that we've got a good match. Because that's what we're after here, isn't it? You want the best flourishing for who you are as a congregation, and I want the best flourishing for who I am as a minister, and to work with a congregation who will meet me, right? So I felt like it was my responsibility to talk to you about this. So I want to tell you a little bit about why I think coming to church matters and what it has to offer. Why this gathered community matters. Now, one of our sources in which we make meaning of the world that we live in is to look at the words and deeds of prophetic people who have come before us and or who are with us now. And I have to say, in this time of rising fascism around the world, I've been turning a lot to Dietrich Bonhoeffer and our own ancestor, John Luther Adams, affectionately known as JLA. because I wanted to take a look at what lessons they may have to offer us right now for the times that we're living in. And just by an aside, we're going to be talking about JLA and that What Moves Us program that Lynn was talking about. What makes JLA really important is that he spent time in Germany in the late 1920s and the early 30s studying with those who were the liberal theologians of the day. And in his conversations with members of the anti-Nazi underground church movement in Germany, JLA heard very clearly that they thought they could have prevented Hitler from rising to power if they had acted together in what JLA calls a voluntary organization. And by that he means an organization where people are free to join and people are free to leave. For JLA, the church is a special kind of volunteer organization because it does the work of defining and nurturing our inner lives as well as our public lives as an agent for collective action in the world. Now, yesterday, I had the privilege of attending a day-long training, and they're going to carry it on this afternoon, but I won't be with them, with the Calgary Alliance for the Common Good. And there we talked about the roles of organizations, the role of organizations as change agents in the world. And it's my hope and my prayer that we can work together with other organizations to help turn that tide in this time and age. And this is one of the reasons why I think the work of the Alliance is a good partnership for us as a congregation. They're engaged in the same work we are, and we have a particular role in working for the collective. JLA thought that the role of the churches was to deal with the meaning of human existence. Because you see, for JLA, church is a place where we come to practice being human. Let me repeat that. We come to church to practice being a human being. We have no other place where we can do that. The church is the only place to do it. And it's messy, isn't it? This business of being a human being, it's messy, it's complicated. And I like to tell people that when they walk through that door for the first time, the second time, the 100th time, that your work is just beginning. Because we are not a tradition that will tell you how to live your life to make meaning out of the world. We are not a tradition that will tell you what redemption or salvation or evil or heaven or hell or anything else means. We're not going to tell you what it means to live a good life. And we're not going to tell you what it means to be a human being living in these times. That's your work to do, my dear ones. It's discomforting. It's up to us to learn and grow. And when we learn and grow, we let go of ideas and ways of being in the world that no longer serve us. That's where the rub comes in, doesn't it? That's where we get to practice being human. So church is the place where you are challenged and invited and encouraged to be active agents, not only in reflecting on your own life and its meaning, and to put it into practice in our daily lives, but in the wider world. In fact, I would go so far as to say that a religion that promises a life without tension, a life without conflict, a life without suffering, is a religion of passivity, mediocrity. It's a religion of insignificance. Instead, congregations, and here at Calgary Unitarians, we are all being invited into a place that offers this place to practice, to learn new things and come into community and go, oh, that didn't quite fit, that didn't quite work, that didn't come across the way I wanted it to. And then go back and reflect on that and try again. And in this community, we hold each other well. We sang a favorite song, a hymn this morning of many you use as our opening hymn. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of living, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Each one of you is welcome into this place with your vulnerabilities, your fears, and your delights. The whole of you is welcome into this place, this space. This place where we don't always get it right. Let me repeat that in case it slipped by you or your mind was thinking about something else. The whole of you is welcome here. That includes your gifts and your imperfections, as well as my gifts and my imperfections, because I am imperfect. I am human, along with everyone else. In my time with you, we've had services where the sound or the technology is glitched, the microphone is dropped, we forget to light a chalice, the wrong verses of the hymn we're singing appear, the person comes up at the wrong time to lead an element. And what do? You're doing it right now. Our response is to laugh, to move on, to have grace, to have forgiveness. Because what really matters is that we are together. It's the gathered community that allows us to open our hearts and spirits to insights and intuition of that great web of life of which we are all a part. And that's why I love this faith. It is the gathered community that gently holds us in love and grace as we fumble along in this business of being human, as we learn new ways of loving the world, new ways of being in the world, new ways of understanding our place in the world. May it ever be so. Amen. Namaste. Blessed be. Speaking of new ways, let's sing our closing hymn, 1017, Building a New Way. The choir is going to lead us.
We are working to be free. We can feed our every need. Start with our every need. Start with love that is the seed. We can feed our every need. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. our cry. Without these, the world will die. Peace and freedom is our cry.
The offering we undertake each week is a recognition of the blessing that we are free to govern and support our religious community on our own. Together, we express our generosity so that we can build a new way of being in the world. We express each month with also a passing of the basket to support the work of a charitable organization whose values align with ours. This month, in recognition of the demeaning and cruel laws that are being passed against people who are transgender in the world, Rainbow Railroad is the recipient of our 4 others. If this is where you would like to direct your offering or a portion of it, please indicate 4 others in the message with your e-transfer or on the offering envelope. The ushers will now come among you to receive the gifts of the congregation.
The candle flickers towards its last. Our time together's ended. The evening sped so swiftly past. No richer way to spend it. Before we head our separate ways, I'd like in truthfulness to say, you've made this day a special day, with songs and kindness splendid. Here's to song, here's to time, here's to both with friends of mine, here's to friends who raise their voices high. His have riches widely laid, Lord's have lands
Actually, let's give the choir another round of applause. And I have to tell you, they're so much fun to sing with. So if you were thinking about you might want to join the choir, I really do encourage you to. It is just a delightful way to spend a Thursday evening. My friends, there is a power at work in the universe, and it works through human hands. Where are my reading glasses? I was getting all steamed up. Let me start over again. There is a power at work in the universe, and it works through our hands, human hands. But here's the thing, it was not made by human hands. It is a creative, sustaining, and transforming power, and we can trust that power with our lives. It will sustain us whenever we take a stand on the side of love, whenever we take a stand for peace and justice, whenever we take a risk of being vulnerable with another person. My dear ones, as you go about this week, trust in that power. Hold firm in the knowledge that we are together held by that power.
The extinguishing of our chalice signals the end of our worship time together as a gathered community. However, its light never dies out entirely. As Reverend Samaya blows out this chalice, take a spark of its light and bring your hand to your heart, allowing the light from this time together to sink into your body and fill the cracks in your heart. As you go about your week, share a piece of this spark with those you meet, expecting nothing and sharing all. If you are joining us online, look for a link being placed in the chat. Click on it now to join with others in our online coffee hour. For those of you here in the sanctuary, please join us in Wickenden Hall for coffee and conversation. In an attitude of gratitude, as Jeff mentioned earlier, we are no longer asking for donations for coffee and snacks, so enjoy.